I'm Clay Newman. This is the Zoo Review. If you live on the West Coast, you've definitely seen these bad boys roaming around. It is the California scrub jay. That's right. I'm officially out of footage from zoos. Now I'm just filming shit I see outside my house like a crazy person. The California scrub jay is not a blue jay. Don't make that mistake. People get feisty out there in the bird community, and they will yell at you. It's got a short beak, which is hooked for breaking into acorns, and a pretty long tail compared to the rest of its body. Usually, when it's perched on something, it's kind of hunched over because of that long tail. That makes it look like your grandma sort of figuring out Zoom for the first time. They've got rich blue and gray colors above, tan and gray below, and a little blue necklace, which separates it from a lot of other jays. They're super fun and playful to watch. They hop around a lot, which definitely earns you Adorableness points, but they've got a very annoying and aggressive call, which they will use a lot. And also, in the summer, they molt, and when they do, they sort of look like a disheveled, newly single dad. That costs you a couple Adorableness points right there. In this category, they got 16 points. They're pretty big for a songbird. They could be almost a foot long, and their wingspan can be over a foot wide. They eat nuts and berries, but they also eat animals as well. They love insects. They definitely go after tiny rodents. They'll eat lizards, amphibians, and even eggs and other baby birds. Pretty dark. They'll follow around adult birds hoping to find the nest, and when they do, they're going to eat those babies. If a California scrub jay is following you, it will eat your babies. Like most birds, just about anything will eat it when it's young, and as an adult, it has some predators as well. Bobcats, hawks, owls, house cats will take these bad boys down, so I can't score them too high in this category. In terms of badassness, eating babies is really more dark than badass. I can only get them 7 points. Jays are actually in the same family as crows, so they are pretty clever as far as birds go. They're often seen up high, many feet above their nest, keeping lookout, which is always a clever move. They nest in pairs versus groups, like most other jays, and they will partner up for a year, sometimes even several years. Both genders work together to make a sturdy nest out of sticks and animal hair, which is gross. They are territorial, and they usually will stay in one place, but in certain areas, when winter gets cold enough, they gotta migrate. They will scoot on out of there, and when they come back, it's a free-for-all for territory. That's exciting. I wish that's how real estate worked with humans. I was gonna rank them pretty high in intelligence, but then I watched this idiot try to put 2 peanuts in its mouth at the same time and take way too long to realize that it couldn't. Classic idiot animal move. And as we know, as humans, from our president, one moron can ruin things for the whole goddamn species. In this category, you only get 11 points. You might think that long tail is going to hurt the California scrub jay as far as special skills. When you watch it fly, it is clunky. It looks like it can't get too far on one wing beat, but that thing is for balance. Its tiny, curved beak is perfect for breaking into acorns. It'll put them on its feet and just smash away with its head until it can get into that nutty goodness. The biggest thing I think they have going for them in this category is that they are curious and mischievous. They know to look for woodpeckers, because woodpeckers store acorns. They'll steal that shit. Whenever you see a jay soaring anything, it'll look around first to make sure no other jays are watching before it shoves it in its little nut hole. In some areas, they do work well with other animals. They can be found sitting on the back of mule deers picking away at those ticks. In this category, they're pretty cool, but it's nothing too crazy. They get a score of 9. Will they make it? Yeah, they're gonna be fine. They can be found in backyards across the West Coast, and they do love peanuts. I've heard you can get them to eat out of your hand, even though this dick wouldn't. Now, it may not seem like you see that much of them, but that's just because they're territorial. They are doing fine population-wise. They can be found all the way from British Columbia down to Baja California, and of course, with global warming, some places are gonna become a little too hot for them, but they're smart enough to just go somewhere else. In this category, they got 17 points. Well, when you tally it all up, the California scrub jay, pretty cool animal. It's got a score of 60 points, which is good enough for 7th place, and 3rd best bird. That's not too bad. We've covered a lot of those guys so far. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. If you want to see more episodes, just check it out on YouTube or my Instagram, @clay.newman. Y'all have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye.